What's up, everybody? My name is Jake Whitt, and this is the first episode of Athletes Corner. My special guest here today is Ole Miss punter Fraser Masin.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for coming on the show. This is pretty awesome experience having you here.
No, well, thanhanks for asking. I'm happy to help.
Yeah, so we're going to do some questions here. We got some about Australia, some about football, a little fun stuff at the end of the show, so just tune in and see. This first question I got was, what was it like growing up in Australia?
Well, I loved it. It's a very outdoorsy lifestyle. Beach. I grew up near beaches, so people here talk about they go to the beach in the summer. Like, it was always hot where I'm from, so you're always at the beach. I lived in Brisbane, which is southeast of Queensland, so a city. School was good. Went to a great high school. Have a lot of good mates. Grew up playing a lot of sport. Like I said, it's very outdoor, very chill, laid back country. But people there love their sport.
Yeah.
So I'd say almost as much as America.
Yeah.
America is big into the sport.
Especially football.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
But
football.
I grew up playing Australian football.
Yeah.
AFL, you have to Google that. And I just loved it. It was awesome.
Well, that leads to my next question. What's the difference between Australian football and football here in the U.S.?
So Australian football's we play it on an oval, first of all, and it's about 3 times the size of an American football field.
Wow.
And so it's similar in the way like a quarterback throws to his receivers.
Mm-hmm.
We will punt it. We say kick, we'll kick it to each other around the field. So, we can hit a target 50 yards out, on the run with our feet. So it's just, we grew up kicking from the age of 5 and 6, so it's totally different. And just you got to get into the end zone, but you got to punt it through uprights. And we got, the 2 middle ones are 6 points and there's outer ones worth 1 point. And there's tackling and no shoulder pads, which is the biggest thing.
Oh, really?
No helmets, you just...
Kind of like rugby, just...
Exactly. So, it's a ball, leather ball. It's a great sport. You have to check it out.
I'm assuming that's how you became a punter.
Yeah, so you've probably seen there's a lot of Australian punters over in the US. We almost play one a week. And, that's just how it starts, because you grow up, kicking. I describe it, America's very overhand, basketball, baseball, NFL, you're all throwing. While Australia, it's just kicking, mate.
Wow.
So we grew up kicking. So once we get out of high school, there's this program that teaches you how to punt in American football, and we already got the basics pretty much down pat. So it's just about figuring out how to kick that ball instead of our ball, and it's very transferable.
Between Australia and the U.S., what is one big cultural shock you had?
It's hard to narrow it down to just one, because there's so many. I think definitely the lingo would be the immediate thing. Although it's English in both places, it's very different English. And I've kind of worked now where I sort of translate myself before I even speak.
Yeah.
But even now you have a slip up and people don't know what you're talking about. They have to make you repeat things, or you send a text and they don't know what that means. And the same back with America, the phrase that's live, that's not a thing in Australia. And so I'll text my friends back home and be like, yeah, that's live, and they'll have it's live streamed, they have no idea. Another big one when I first got here was you straight?
Oh,
are you okay? You straight? You all good? My first night, someone asked me if I'm straight, and I was like, yeah, I'm straight. I like girls. I don't really know if you think I'm gay because I'm from Australia. But he's like, nah, man, you straight. I'm like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so.
So I'd say the lingo, food's definitely up there. A lot of food, a lot of cheap food, a lot of fast food, a lot of fried food, and it is good. Yeah. I think just the culture of everyone's from somewhere else.
Yeah, especially here in Ole Miss.
Exactly. You go to school and it's I'm from Arizona, I'm from Chicago, I'm from Georgia. So I think that's pretty cool that people move from different walks of life. Yeah.
Well, speaking of Ole Miss, my next question would be, what made you choose Ole Miss?
So like I said, there was a program that teaches you how to punt the American football. They're called Pro Kick Australia. And pretty much how it works is, you know, you see it online and you sign up to it and you go have a tryout and you join on with them and you practice for a little bit. And then based on your like skill set, they kind of like put you to a school.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the typical American recruitment where you have like 30 offers and you have to, you know, you get a visit. Like I never got a visit. Like first time I pulled on campus was the first time I saw it. And so they kind of, you know, I'm just at work one day back home and I get a text from the guy who runs Pro Kick and he's like, hey, I got like someone for you to call, like coach such and such at Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And so I said to my boss, like, hey, like, can I step outside? Gave him a quick call and within 5 minutes, you know, they offered me a scholarship.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't know anything about Ole Miss. The only thing I knew was The Blind Side.
Yeah, the movie.
Which is actually me and my dad are Ravens fans.
Oh, really?
Because we watched The Blind Side when I was younger and of Michael Law.
Wow.
And we were like, oh yeah, we'll go for the Ravens. Like that was my first induction to like American football. And so now it's a small world that.
You keep up with the Ravens now?
Nah, I don't as much. You know, college football's enough.
Yeah.
We can day and day watching film and traveling. That's enough football content for me.
I like college football more. It's
That's what lots of
more
people say down here.
Yeah.
It's and I think so too. There's more passion.
There is. A lot more crazy fans.
Yeah.
A lot more
Definitely
love for the game.
Definitely.
So, all right, this next question I got is one big difference between Australia and America. I know we kind of went over the lingo, but
the big difference, I think, another big difference would be the driving. Like we drive on the other side of the road
y'all do the left
with
side?
the steering wheel on the right side.
Yeah.
So whenever I go back and forth between the two, there's always a couple days where I'm almost running into people.
Yeah.
Just because you have to
that's so hard.
No, when I first came over here, it was the hardest because I always felt like I was about to hit this side because I was too close to the middle, but I really wasn't over enough. And no, so that.
How'd you adjust the roundabouts?
Well, see, we have roundabouts. Like roundabouts are so normal back home. Roundabouts just aren't a thing here.
So roundabouts in Australia, do y'all go on the left side or on the right side?
We'd go on the left and you go around,
Back at home, which I'm from a small town, I mean, we don't have roundabouts.
No.
Like, Oxford's the only place that I've been to within my, like, range of where I live that has roundabouts.
Yeah, and there's not many. There's only a couple, and I used to live over near the two roundabouts near the wreck, and people just don't know how to use them. No, yeah, and that's another big difference. Trucks, like so we call them utes, and they're usually a bit smaller. They don't have the big trucks. And those people with big trucks, man, sometimes they annoy me.
I know.
I'll tell you,
especially when they have them so loud.
It's not even. It's just the driving. Like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Classic trucks, man.
Yeah.
But I love it. I love them. They are massive.
I got mine where like it's not a small truck, but it's not huge.
No, well, see,
like,
there's
it's
some.
not obnoxious.
There's some like they're lifted and like.
The ones that are like this. Yeah.
I'll be walking up to them and they're like at my height at the bonnet, like, and I'm like, nah, that's ridiculous. You don't need that.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna transition to a little bit of football
Yes,
here. So, what's it like playing under Lane Kiffin?
It's cool. He's a really fun coach. He's really around the building. He's pretty quiet. He doesn't say much, but when he does speak, he speaks volumes, and it's really cool listening to him, his thought process, and what he thinks about teams. And obviously, being the punter, he doesn't speak to me much, but so when he does, it's an honor. But no, he's a coach's coach. He runs his ship very well. He expects a lot out of his team, and especially when he believes in his team. Yeah. And this is one of those years he really believes in the team we got. So now he's great. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, speaking of, I bet Coach went up to you at Oklahoma when you punted the ball to the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
He had to say something right there, huh?
He didn't say something, but he gave me a thumbs up. And for Lane Kiffin, that's a lot. So I'll take that.
Well, speaking of that awesome punt, what was it like?
It was
nailing
cool.
out the 1 yard line.
It was cool. It was one of those scenarios. I've done it in practice before, and it was like, damn, that'd be cool to do in a game. And so, you know, it leaves your foot and you look down and you look up and you see it and you're like, oh yeah, like I've got onto that one.
Yeah.
And you see it bounce and I'm like, oh, and then it took another bounce. I was like, it's either bouncing into the end zone or out at the 2.
Yeah.
And then, it took a hard right.
Wow.
And I was just ecstatic, very happy.
It's always like hard to predict where that's going to go.
Oh yeah, people who tell you they can do it, they're lying to you, mate.
Yeah.
You can't control the bounce
you can't
of the
control
ball.
The spin.
Nah.
Or not the spin, but like
The way
where
it
it's gonna
once
be
it hits
bouncing.
the ground,
Yeah.
it's done. Yeah.
So a follow-up for that, I saw a lot of people posted about that kick.
Yeah.
Had a lot of people on Instagram post about that. How does it feel having so many people care?
It's
and,
cool.
like,
It's
reaching out to you
cool.
like that?
I had a lot of like family and friends back home reaching out and like sending and sharing, and that was cool. But then also like just Ole Miss fans and like Americans, and I think it's cool. It's just cool because like being a punter, like you don't get the highlight tape, which is okay, which is totally fine. But so when you do something cool, it's nice to like yeah, you know what?
Feel appreciated.
Exactly, that was cool. And it's just, you see people comment on it, like, it's just this team, like, especially me personally, I feel like we're good in so many other areas. Mm-hmm. Defensive side of the ball, offensive side of the ball. Caden Davis, our kicker, is phenomenal. Yes. So it's just like, damn, like, I gotta step up too, and I think that's the makings of a great team. Yeah. So, I just try to do my part when I can.
I say Caden Davis played an excellent game against Georgia.
He did.
He played phenomenal.
He did. 5 for 5, longer, I think it was 53, 54, so no.
I can't really tell from where I'm at, I'm in the stands.
Yeah.
I'm not watching on TV. I'm over here crashing cymbals for the man.
Yeah.
So
yeah. No, he 16 points out of the 28 we scored.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's,
Is what we scored, I think, 2 touchdowns?
2 touchdowns and 5 field goals.
5 field goals.
Special teams wins you games. Kicking wins you games.
And Caden Davis done exactly that.
Yeah, so Caden Davis is amazing.
Okay, so what would you like? Would you like a day game or a night game when you're playing football?
It's tough, so we practice in the morning. Mm-hmm. We have a morning schedule, so our practices start around 10:30, 11 a.m.
Yeah.
So speaking from a performance standpoint, it'd be best for us to start 11 a.m. game. Our bodies are used to waking up, we're used to eating, we're used to going out, warming up and practicing. But man, those SEC night games.
It's hard to beat.
And I was sad we didn't get one this year, but we kind of got one in the Georgia game because it was dark by second quarter.
The daylight savings. It got dark real quick.
But no, last year we had LSU. It ended up being a night game. The Arkansas night game, they are cool. They are, especially in the Vort. People try to hate on the Vort, but it can throw a good night game when it wants to.
Especially this Georgia game. There was so many people.
Phenomenal.
That were locked in. Had the crowd roaring. I mean, it was.
And I think from the get-go, once Austin had that drive and he went down and we scored a touchdown, I think people the whole time knew, we might not blow them out, but we're going to win this game. Yeah. We're going to win this thing.
I mean, I feel like, especially after Dart threw that one pick, and it was at the
looking grim.
20-yard line, everybody's like, well, there it is. There goes all our chances. But stayed with it. Simmons played great on that drive. He didn't break under pressure.
So the future's good.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people were sitting there thinking, well, I don't want to miss out on history. And they didn't. And it was history.
I know.
Yeah.
And I got to be at it for free. I'm in the band. I get to
So did I,
see
mate.
it right there.
So did I.
Yeah, you played in it.
So that was a cool night. Night.
What's your? I mean, I may know the answer to this, but what's your favorite game that you played in?
Well, see, recency bias says Ole Miss beats Georgia.
Yeah,
but
I kind of figured. I wrote this question 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. No, there's been tons. So for me personally, I got into American football through the blind side, but then I didn't know college football was a thing until that Joe Burrow LSU year.
Yeah.
And then I'm COVID, and I was going through rabbit holes on YouTube, and I'm like, this is just like college, or what we call university. These aren't professionals; these are just kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're playing in front of 110,000 people, and especially that Joe Burrow team in LSU and Tiger Stadium. I'm like, they're playing in front of 100,000 every week. So that's how I got into college football, and then so my first year to go to play at Tiger Stadium, that was cool. That was really cool playing that in front of that many people. We played in the Texas Bowl that year, which we lost, but like to
Yeah.
play in like the Houston Texans Stadium,
Yeah, I bet
that was cool.
cool.
Like the whole time, I'm just trying to like remind myself like I'm just so lucky to be here.
Exactly.
And just little things like that, like that's cool. That's a cool thing to do. We had last year. There's more last year. We had the LSU game where they stormed the field. That was amazing. The Peach Bowl, I still want to say it was almost better than Georgia, just because of like.
Just because like it's a new place, you got to go to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. You got to play in it
And beat the hell out of Penn State.
Yeah, I mean we did a lot better than I thought we would. You know,
But
you'd think it'd be a closer game.
No, yeah.
We just went out and.
But that Georgia game, I think, when it's all said and done, that'll definitely be. It'll be the second best game.
Looking back, it probably would. Like it's such a historic game, and we may not realize it because it happened last week. But 10 or so years down the road,
they still talk about that 2014 year where they pulled down the goalpost. So. No, but when we win the Natty this year, that'll be game number one.
Yeah, that's definitely.
That'll be game number one.
Can't wait to host a playoff game.
Oh, that'd be cool too. That will be cool. Exactly.
Okay, so on away games, do y'all ever stop by for like gas stations to get snacks and stuff?
No, away games are very serious. We'll practice here on the Friday morning, practice, shower up, and then we're on a bus to Tupelo. Pull up right on the tarmac to a plane. We all get on the plane, fly to wherever we're flying to, and then once we land in that city, there's more buses waiting for us, police escort to the hotel. Pretty much just like locked in. They give us all the food. Morning, bus to the game, and then after the game, we bus straight back to the plane. Yeah. We come home that day. So like that LSU game a couple of weeks ago, like we're not getting home till like 3:30 a.m. Like, but no, so there's no chance of stopping at any gas station.
I actually got to play at the LSU game as a band member. Not
I imagine you guys get the bus.
Yeah, oh my gosh. There were so many drunk LSU fans flipping us off because y'all aren't on the field anymore. Y'all done went in the locker rooms and stuff. And so we're the next target because we're wearing red and navy. So many drunk LSU fans.
Terrible fan base. Terrible fan base. It's wild.
They're a little obnoxious.
I think they are the worst fan base.
Yeah, especially after that game, I was running off the field and this kid followed me for about 20, 25 yards, just like filming me. And I was like, oh God, like you just lost, like calm down. Like it's a night game in Death Valley and you nearly lost, like be calm.
You know, it went to overtime.
Yeah, which was cool. That was cool. But tough game.
But it was tough. And there's so, like the stadium and also going back to like enjoying where you go, that's a really nice stadium.
Yeah.
They got, it holds 102,000 people? Yeah. Like, just looking at the crowd, it's insane. And it was loud, too.
It was.
Really loud.
So, happy days.
Yeah. This next question I got. So, you're in EA college football.
I am.
How does it feel to be in a video game?
That was cool. That was really cool. Like, because I think it was early last year, there was some rumors about it popping up. And I was like, oh, God, that'd be cool. Like, to be in it. Like, I grew up, I didn't play video games, but I had to play, like, Madden and 2K and FIFA, you know, and you always created your My Player and, you know, had a career and won MVPs and whatnot. And so I was like, that would be cool to just, and then when it came out, I think I was like a 75 overall. Yeah. So not the best rating, but still, your little characters there in a game, like, no, that was cool. And people back home pulling it up.
It'd be hard to kind of give overalls to punters.
Yeah, no.
I feel like there's only so much you can.
There's only so much you can give, but no, it was to play as Ole Miss, to play in the stadium. It all looks very real. Yeah. No, that was
the whole like cool. Intro, like with the teams running out on the field and the bands out there, fireworks. It's so cool.
I know they did a great job. So I was very blessed to be in that. Yeah.
So this next part we're gonna do is the trivia part. I want to end the show with trivia every time. We got 10 questions. We're gonna see how many he gets out of 10. And since he's the first guest, I mean, he's gonna be in first place.
Gotta set the standard.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta set the standard.
Exactly.
So this first question I got on a trivia: do you remember what year and who you played when you punted your first punt?
Yeah, it was 2022 against Troy. University of Troy? I don't know what they call it. Troy.
University of Troy. Yeah, you just say Troy.
Troy.
Do you know your career best?
65.
Do you know when it was?
I've had multiple.
Oh, really?
Look who's doing the trivia now, yeah. First year against LSU, I had a 65-yarder.
Yeah.
And then past weekend, had a 65-yarder.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, I can't tell that from the stands. I can. I'm just watching the ball.
Yeah, nah.
Man, multiple, man. I feel terrible now. We have to cut the show and redo it.
No,
man.
absolutely not.
Okay, so we got random questions. So these questions, I mean, obviously I asked football. It's going to be some of all over the place. So, you know what a group of lions are called?
A pride.
A pride. Wow.
A pride, yeah.
Okay, you got that. Arachnophobia is a fear of what?
Spiders.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
4 out of 10 right here.
From Australia. We're going to know.
Oh, yeah, you're going to know the spiders. They're everywhere. And they're huge down there, too.
Yeah, big old.
I saw a picture. I don't know if it was real or not, but it was like a huge spider on the corner of the wall.
Yeah.
And it was probably like 2 feet tall.
Yeah, I probably have some of in my phone from spiders from back home. Yeah.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Anyways, the famous warrior in Greek mythology, he died by an arrow to his heel.
Achilles.
5 out of 10. Man, I should have made these tougher. Okay. The defensive award for Ole Miss. Number 38.
Oh, the Chucky Mountains Award.
Oh my God.
I thought you were about to ask me a football about defense. I was like, I don't know anything about defensive terminology, but
I probably should since you're, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 out of 10.
yeah,
Man, you're setting standard right here. What is the only continent, not country, continent? Let me just clear that,
Antarctica. Is that the answer?
No. Only continent that naturally grows coffee.
Oh, South America. No.
Oh, you rode the perfect streak.
Damn.
That is a great answer, though.
Yeah, I know good
Because
coffee
that's
comes
what my
from
roommate said. He was saying, like, over in, like, Singapore and stuff. Over in South America. It's Africa.
I can
Yeah.
see that. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does,
Makes
kind
sense.
of. But you would think South America. Yeah. Man, okay. What is the only bird that can fly backwards? Dude, once I give you the answer, you're going to be like, that makes sense. Yeah. But off the top of your head, it's probably going to be a little hard to think about.
Flies backwards. A dove? What one?
A hummingbird.
Oh, no, you've got me with the birds, man.
Yeah. You're not a huge bird guy?
No.
Let's see here. Who scored the first touchdown of the 2024 season and how
This year?
of this season? Ole Miss football.
I want to take just a stab in the dark and say it was probably Jackson Dart past to Trey Harris.
Oh, you were so close. It was Jackson Dart by running. He ran it.
He was, wasn't it? Damn, I should know that. We've scored too many.
I know.
Too
I
many.
mean, we did drop, 70-something points
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
So it's a lot of touchdowns. It's
It
kind of
is.
hard to think about.
Damn, is that 7 for 10?
Let's see. 5 out of 9. Or 6 out of 9, I'm sorry.
Damn, okay,
6
let's
out
go
of 9.
7 for 10.
Man, 7 for 10. All right, you should know this one.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted it to end on easy. What is the Australian city that has the Opera House?
Oh, Sydney.
Yeah. 7 out of 10.
Damn.
Hey, you weren't meant to get 10 out of 10. I tried to make it a little hard.
I was gonna talk some smack about the American education system, and now here I am not knowing that a damn hummingbird flies backwards like a fool.
I mean, if you ever like see a video or see a hummingbird, you can see.
I'll never forget this moment now. I will now know.
Dude, I'm gonna text you probably like 2 years from now, just out of the blue, be like, hey, what's the bird that flies backwards?
And I will haunt me, and it will be a damn hummingbird.
Well, as the official first place holder, 7 out of 10.
Thank you.
We got a little championship belt.
Oh,
that you
wow.
can hold for the camera.
A real damn.
I know, dude. It costs a pretty penny.
Oh yeah. How does John Cena do it?
How did they sling it up like that? It's pretty heavy.
Yeah, this is heavy, but
Yeah.
I'll take this. Thank you. I'm gonna sit this right here.
The champion
Yes, sir.
of Athletes Corner as of right now.
You heard it here first. I'm gonna put this down here.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Well, Fraser, it was awesome to interview
Thank you.
It was
No,
a
thanks
great
for having
time.
me.
Great
I
time.
appreciate
Learned
it.
a lot.
I hope so.
I know you learned a lot too with the hummingbird.
I did.
But that's all I got. So thank you everybody for tuning in. This is the first episode of Athletes Corner. Next week we may have a soccer player. Might have it. Kelly Brady?
Sure.
Yeah, might have her. We'll go see. But that's all I got. Thank you for tuning in, and see you on the next episode.